What's up, music lovers? What is your goal? Today we're going to be discussing what my goals are, what my biggest goal is, and what really matters. This is something that I think about quite a bit in my own life, and today I was driving home from the gym. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Jamestown, New York. Spring has arrived, well, kind of. We're supposed to get snow later in the week. But I think quite a bit about what my goals are while I'm working out or running or driving or in the morning. I try to focus on what my goals are. So this morning I was driving and I thought to myself, well, my goal is to get my music heard. That's like my ultimate goal, right? It's the one thing that if I died tomorrow, I want to accomplish today. Or in the span of my lifetime, it's the one thing that really means the most, that I get my music heard. So that's super important to keep in mind. And remember, because what ends up happening is we get all these other little goals that might lead to that big goal, but also that might distract us from the big goal. So I've got all these other little goals too, like day-to-day tactical goals like growing on Instagram or getting more YouTube views or doing more Facebook advertising and all these things. And one of the things that has happened is I've definitely become one of the music marketing guys. Musical marketing and how to grow and how to do this. And I have my own consulting business where I help other businesses grow online and do their marketing, mostly musicians and bands and venues who are friends of mine who have hired me to help them grow. And what ends up happening is you get some success in different areas. And if you keep going down that path, then it starts to alter your goals just a little. And I want you to know that everything that I do online, marketing, consulting, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook advertising, website, every single thing. I'm learning a lot about Spotify right now because it's super relevant, important. Everything that I do online goes back to one primary goal: get my music heard. So you'll notice that my primary goal is not get a bunch of fans or like become an influencer or become a YouTube star or to make it onto The Voice, which people ask me all the time to go on The Voice, which is cool. It's a compliment. Thank you if you're one of those people. It's a huge compliment that you think I could be on The Voice and compete and at that level. Awesome. And that would get my music heard. I'm going to rethink the voice strategy. But no, online, that's how you get heard these days. It's a way for an independent guy like me to get my music out into the world and get it heard. So I'll need help along the way. I'm sure I'll have to hire distributors and talk to licensing companies, and at some point those people will come calling. And I only know that from working with some of my friends who have some other musicians who have those types of people in their lives that help them get their music heard. But yeah, I'm not out to be an Instagram influencer. There's a million ways that you can become an Instagram influencer or a YouTube star. So I just wanted to ask you, what is your goal? Like the thing that eats at you day in and day out. That's the thing you need to focus on the most in making your content. If you're a content creator here online, and a lot of these videos that I'm making are for people like that who are making content, other musicians who are making videos and getting out their stuff, as you got to make sure that it all points to the main goal. Let's talk about it in terms of touring. Get my music heard doesn't necessarily jive too well with touring at the beginning. You have to get a fan base. I've talked about this in other videos. It's like, until you have a fan base, you can play in your local town over and over and over again and get good at your craft. Even tour regionally, like 2 or 3 hours out of town, and you'll get some experimentation going. Like, you can play in a whole bunch of different venues. You can do coffee shops, restaurants, clubs, colleges. You get enough experience to learn, okay, this is in my environment. This is where I excel. This is where I thrive. And that can be a part of the artist development side of your touring. You don't have to tour, because if you tour and nobody knows who you are, you're not going to get heard. You're going to play to a bunch of empty walls and a bunch of empty floors and some, no offense, drunken people hanging out in bars. It's a rough world out there. So if you want to be heard, become a content creator online and get your music out there. So I mentioned Spotify earlier. I'm learning a ton about Spotify right now, like how to make playlists, how to hire digital distribution companies to promote your music to other playlists, which is a strategy, how to set up search engine optimization on Spotify to be found by people looking for certain types of music. Spotify is an amazing platform. And it's super relevant right now. And I didn't really understand the differences between Spotify. That's Maggie kicking the... Maggie, what are you doing? Sorry about that. Okay. I didn't really understand the differences between Pandora, Apple Music, Apple, and iTunes, and Spotify. There are some seriously big differences. Spotify is a great social media platform for music, and it has a lot of advantages. So if you've been focusing on Pandora like I was for a long time, it's time to go to Spotify. And now I have some goals over there on how I want to grow and get my music heard, right? Because that's super important. It's the big goal. So I guess there's no reason to go on and on about this, but what is your goal? Whether it be say you're big into fitness, because it's so popular right now and it's a huge niche on Instagram, YouTube, very popular right now. If you're into fitness and your goal is to, let's say, help others with their fitness, so you want to get out your certain fitness strategy, your mission. That should be the main thing. Not to become Instagram famous or Instagram influencer or a YouTube star. All those things are kind of distractions. So in the end, this kind of goes to, it's not how big you grow. It's not how huge your audience is. It's more about quality communities. All you need is a couple hundred, maybe even a couple thousand if you're lucky, followers they can build quality relationships with. It's not being huge. It's being quality, having a quality group of people listening. So in my situation, getting my music heard by, let's say, 1,000 people for hours and hours and hours throughout their entire lives is super important. That can have a huge difference on somebody's life. If you become the person that people listen to over and over and over again for a certain thing, then that is really valuable. And if you do that, that alone will grow. They tell their friends, they start sharing the music, it's really important to them. On the long haul, I'm talking 10 years, 20 years, that you get referred by listeners. And it's quality, so it's organic, right? You got to be patient for this stuff. So it takes forever, but it's fun. And again, it's worth it if you focus on your main goal. So back to the fitness example, having a small group of people really idolize what you're saying and value your opinion. They'll come back over and over and over again. And, you know, you can do that locally. It's all about growing your local presence. Even if it's on a national level, it can be small and you can have a huge impact on people's lives. So what's your goal? Ask yourself that right now. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.